people? How y'all doing, man? I'm so glad you took the time to tap in and highlight your boy over here at the desk. Listen, man, I'm still doing my thing, right? Getting things from out of the hard drive, stripping them down, and getting them sync ready for voiceovers. And today I pulled out a sort of a hip hop track. It's about 3 minutes, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's too long, but no, it's not, right? 3 minutes long. That's sort of the standard. Well, it was. So I started thinking like most everybody, right? As rap gotten watered down, it lost its foundations, no more substance, that whole scenario you heard before. And of course, I'm thinking like most people, yeah, it probably did, because everywhere you turn is auto-tune stacked on top of auto-tune. Everybody sounds the same. When you do finally get a chance to understand the verse, I'm not even totally convinced in what bro trying to sell me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Plus, it's 2 minutes long, 2.5 minutes. I mean, as soon as I start vibing, the track is over. It's a wrap. Track is over. So I figured like everybody else figured, attention spans, right? Nobody could sit still anymore, so the music just changed to follow suit. That's what I believe. And then I started to wonder, like, so when did that happen? I wanted to try to find out when did all of that change? And bruh, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. It had nothing to do with attention spans. It's all about a number. And that number doesn't show up in the studio. It shows up in the paperwork. And once it's pointed out, it can't be unheard. It's sitting in the arrangement of damn near every rap song that's on the radio right now. Now, I'm going to show you what that number is, but more importantly, I'm going to show you how I got there. Check this out. 1994, Juicy. 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Now, that's Juicy by Biggie. 3 verses, no filler, a life told in order. From broke in a rented apartment with magazine pictures on the wall and all that, to the deal, to the house. It's that rags to riches template that half of hip hop has been rewriting ever since. Now, 30 years later, there's people in other countries that Biggie never even set foot in who could recite that entire song. They might not even be able to speak English, but they know that song word for word. 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Remember that number. 1995, California Love. Remember that. Tupac featuring Dr. Dre. 4 minutes and 45 seconds on the radio edit. 6:29 as recorded, right? 6 minutes and 29 seconds as recorded. That went to number 1. Now, let's move up 15 years to 2010. Remember Black and Yellow, Wiz Khalifa? That hit number 1. It was 3 minutes and 37 seconds, but it took 18 weeks on the charts in order to get to number 1. 2018, the all-time mind-boggler. A song was number 1 for 19 straight weeks. This song was only 1 minute and 53 seconds long, and that was Old Town Road by Lil Nas X. This is an all-time record because it's one of the shortest songs that has ever held that spot. Then we could even look at 24 going into 2025, TGIF by Glorilla. That was 2 minutes and 44 seconds. How about What You Know About Me by Glorilla and Sexy Red? 2 minutes and 29 seconds. These are all songs that hit the top 100. 30 years, 5 minutes down to 2.5. Okay, so now let's go back to that second example because there's something I really didn't mention. California Love, Tupac featuring Dr. Dre. That had 2 documented lengths. The original length was 6 minutes and 29 seconds. However, the radio edit was only 4 minutes and 45 seconds. So that means in 1995, the short version was more of a concession. Somebody actually sat down and deliberately took out 90 seconds of that complete track. And that's because the format at that time demanded it, right? The long version was the real version. The short one was the compromise. But now look at 2024. What You Know About Me is only 2 minutes and 29 seconds long. There's no edit for that. There's no long version sitting on somebody's hard drive that was trimmed down for a radio edit. That's it. That's the entire record. It was written that length, it was arranged that length, and it was mixed that length. And that's where you see the shift. In 1995, the commercial format was something that you edited towards, right? After that song was completed, you then edit it. But by the time 2024 came around, that compromise moved from out of the editing suite directly into the songwriting. And the number 30 is what made that shift happen. 30 seconds. All right, so now people on streaming platforms, a play doesn't count until roughly 30 seconds in. Now, before that line, you get nothing. No partial payment, no nothing, nada. However, after that line, it counts as a full play. And here's the kicker. It counts as a full play whether the listener stops listening at 31 seconds or if they listen to an entire 6-minute song. Just sit with that for a second, because it's one of the strangest payment structures in recording music history, as far as I'm concerned, right? The length of your song is uncompensated. But, however, I mean, it is what it is. So let's just keep it moving. Okay, so now watch what that threshold means for each one of these songs. Juicy is 5 minutes and 2 seconds. 30 seconds is 10% of that song. So you basically have to give away 90% of your record for free before the payment even is guaranteed. California Love, the full version is 6 minutes and 29 seconds. 30 seconds of that is under 11%. Black and Yellow, 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Now you're at 14%. TGIF is only 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and that's 18% of that song. What You Know About Me is 2 minutes and 29 seconds. That's actually 20% of that entire song in 30 seconds. Now, the kicker, Old Town Road, 1 minute and 53 seconds. 30 seconds is 26% of the entire song. And that's why I put Old Town Road in the opening. Not because it's representative, it's a country crossover. And Billboard famously argued about whether it counted as a country song at all. It's in here because it holds the record, and records tell you where the incentive points to. A song that short crosses the payout line before the first verse is even over. It's essentially all payable. There's almost no unpaid portion of that record. So have they really gotten lazy, or have they gotten smarter? Now, let's take 12 minutes of one person's listening time. 12 minutes of Juicy is about 2 1/3 plays. 12 minutes of Old Town Road is about 6 1/3 plays. Same 12 minutes of a human being's life, but nearly 3 times the amount of plays. All right, so now let me be very clear. Now, there's no fixed per stream rate or anything like that. Streaming pays out of a shared pool, and your cut is your share of total plays out of that pool. It's not set by a price per play or anything like that. But when you run that through, the incentive actually gets stronger, not weaker, because if you're competing for a slice of a fixed pool and the pool is divided by the play counts, then every second of runtime that doesn't generate an additional play is a second that you're losing ground to someone else with a shorter track. And let's just be honest, the pool doesn't really care how good your third verse is. It's counting the plays. Okay, so I get it. 5 songs is an antidote. I picked them, and you could be suspicious of them if you want. I get that. So here's the same pattern at scale. In 2019, Billboard ran the math on their own Hot 100. Hip-hop songs in the top 10 average about 2 minutes and 48 seconds for that year. That was a 51-second drop from the year before. That's in 1 year, 51 seconds. And it kept going. By 2024, the average charting song on Spotify sat right around 3 minutes, and that's roughly 30 seconds shorter than it had been in 2019. So now, after going and getting all of that information, I got a different take on things right now. Maybe the newer people in the industry do respect it. They just locked into where that bag is at. Now, rap didn't get dumber, right? A payment threshold moved, so distribution went algorithmic, and the art form did what art forms have done under commercial pressure for as long as anybody can remember. It adapted to the container that it was being poured into. 5 minutes down to 2.5 minutes over 30 years, because at 30 seconds, a play is a play. And that's where the bag is at, baby. So, I mean, if you are a newer artist and you're currently working on something, you might want to think about going straight into the bounce. Go right into the bounce, baby, because that's where the bag is at. And the stats pretty much say exactly that. Now, songs got long when the format allowed it and short when it didn't. And the writing survived every single one of those shifts. This is something that might need to take some serious thought. If I put that song, Old Town Road, on, it could be played and finished before my bag of popcorn. Now, I like my little Orville Redenbacher. I throw it in the microwave when I'm getting ready to watch me a game or something like that. But can you imagine this song, 19 weeks at number one on Billboard's Top 100, being played and done before my popcorn could come out the microwave? 153 versus Orville Redenbacher at 213. Come on, man. Something to think about. Something to think about. I'm hoping that some of this information might be really informative to somebody that might be, in the business. You might want to think about going straight into that bounce if you're looking for that bag. That's pretty much it. Hey, listen, man, I took up enough of your time. As usual, thanks for listening. I'm going to get back at y'all. Holla back.